All right, everybody, how y'all doing? And welcome back to Let's Talk Sports with Ron. Yes, I'm here ready to give you all of the news you need to know that's going on in WWE, WNBA, college football, yes, our Hurricanes, of course, and our Dolphins as they open up playing the Indianapolis Colts Sunday as they played away in Indianapolis. So we're gonna go ahead on and get into those four segments and let's get right into it. Yes. Let's go ahead and talk about WWE. Right now, there's not too much going on in WWE. The only thing that caught my attention was the Roman Reigns and the Randy Orton matchup that took place September 8th on Raw. And the full matchup of the Wyatt Six versus the American Made mixed tag team street fight that took place on Raw. So those are the only things that really caught my eye on the men's section of WWE. Not too much going on in women. They're just lollygagging, trying to go ahead and find good matchups for us to watch because there's a lot going on in their personal lives and on WWE women division. And we ain't hardly hear too much of Tiffany Stratton. So waiting on to see what is going on with that there so we can go ahead on and get full coverage and full footage to you as we go ahead and progress in WWE. Now, my favorite, the WNBA. Scores and highlights from September 1st already to September 7th. On September 1st, the Dream spanked the Suns 93-76. Your top performer was Hillman, had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and Charles of Connecticut had 22 points and 8 rebounds, but it was not enough to go ahead on and beat the Dream as they ran all over the Connecticut Suns 93-76. Lennox spanked the Wings 96-71. Your top performers in that game was Bukier of Dallas had 17 points and Collier of Minnesota had 25 points and 3 blocks. And of course, the Sparks got back into their rhythm as they spanked the Storms in 91-85. Your top performers in that game is Hamby of LA had 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 steals, and Skylar Diggins of Seattle had 21 points, 6 assists. Moving right along to September 2nd. And the Valkyries, it was a good matchup. It wasn't too much scoring points, but the Valkyries edged out the Liberty 66-58. Your top performers, Cloud of New York had 19 points, and Fag Benny had 16 points of Golden State's. Mercury edged the Fever 85-79. Your top performers, Mitchell of Indiana had 29 points and 3 steals, and Thomas of Phoenix had 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. September 3rd, the Dream keep winning as they spanked the Sparks 86-75. Hamby of LA had 21 points and 9 rebounds, and Jones of Atlanta had 16 points and 13 rebounds. And of course, give it up for the Sky as they spanked the Suns 88-64. My homegirl Angel Reese, yes, had 18 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 steals of Chicago, and Charles of Connecticut had 19 points. September 4th, Mercury defeated Mystic 75-69. Top performers of that game is Phoenix, 12 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. Austin of Washington had 15 points, 10 rebounds. Valkyries defeated the Rings by 4 points, 84-80. Top performers of that game is Buccaneers of Dallas, Bukiers of Dallas, 27 points, 6 assists, 4 steals, and Saloon of Golden State had 19 points, 6 rebounds. Aces defeated Lennox by 10, 97-87. Your top performers of their games, Heidemann of Minnesota had 22 points, 6 rebounds, 4 steals, and Wilson had 31 points, 8 rebounds. Wilson is a beast for the Las Vegas Aces, and they ain't going to stop this woman. Wilson just manhandled. I mean, she just all team. 31 points, 8 rebounds. Who gonna stop Wilson? I like to see that. Friday, September 5th. Dream, oh my gosh. Atlanta Dreams ran all over the Sparks, 104-85. Your top performer, as you know, Hammy gonna go ahead and put up her points. 26.7 rebounds of LA, and Howard of Atlanta had 37 points and 6 assists. Sky. They win one, they lose, they win, they lose. They just can't get it together. As their record is 10-31, just like I said. And I was watching some of the footage of the Sky, and it's not their fault. What's wrong with the Chicago Sky is their guards. Their guards are whack. And if you have whack guards that can't get the ball down to your team players and your top hitters, your top performers, then it's gonna be a long, long day. So Fever spanked the Sky by 20 points, 97-77. Top performers of their game, Cardoso of Chicago had 18 points and 9 rebounds. Now y'all keep in mind, Cardoso is a center. And when you got your center picking up the points and they're in that top performance list, that means something's wrong with your guards. And your guards cannot find their hitters down low. So Cardoso is the top scorer with injuries. If injury can stay healthy, but it's the guards. And I saw the some of the performance of it, and the guards are whack. So on Fever in the other side, Howard had 18.7 rebounds and 4 steals as the Fever ran all over Sky, 97-77. Liberty spanked the Storm, 84-76. Stewart of New York had 24 points, 7 rebounds, 5 blocks. Wamiki of Seattle had 20 points and 9 rebounds, September 6th. Woo, what a good game. Mercury lost to the Suns, 87-84. Suns are beaten by 3 points. Top performers of the game is Thomas had 14 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists from Phoenix, and Charles of Connecticut had 22 points and 10 rebounds. Lennox beat the Valkyries 78-72 as Heidemann of Minnesota had 24 points and 3 steals. Charles of Golden State had 15 points and 9 rebounds. And last, September 7th. As the Fever ran all over the Mystics, ran all over, they just couldn't keep up. As the Fever defeated Mystics 94-65. Your top performers of the game was Powers of Indiana, had 15 points, 6 rebounds. Citron of Washington had 17 points. Sparks defeated the Wings 91-77. Top performers, Bookiers of Dallas had 18.6 rebounds, 7 assists, and Alleman had 21 points and 5 steals of Los Angeles. And this is the thing I was talking about. Sky. As I was watching the game, and they just have no point guards. And a couple of players sat out due to injury, so they had a weak bench. They ain't had that many bench performers, and a lot of the starters were exhausted. So Aces decided to give them a ass whipping, 80-66. Cardoso of Chicago had 10 points, 15 rebounds, and Wilson, yes, that's a beast, baby. That's my girl. Wilson had 31 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 steals, and she could not be stopped. And Chicago didn't have an answer because, like I said, Reese was out with a back injury, with a couple of other players was out with knee injuries. So, and they had a bench of 3 people and a full court. So of their starters, the starters played majority of the minutes, as the Sky just couldn't keep up. And that's what's up. Now, moving on to the Canes. Let's talk Hurricanes, baby. I ain't gonna go ahead and talk too much about it because we all know they played Bethune-Cookman, and what an ass whipping that was. As Miami ran all over Bethune-Cookman, 45-3. And I'll give it to Carson Beck and Emory Williams. Beck had completed of 22 or 24 for 267 yards and 2 touchdowns. Emory came in to relieve him because the game was just out of reach for Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Y'all boys put up 3 points in the second quarter, in the second half, and that was it. They went scoreless in the first, third, and fourth. And the defense had to, just like I said, the defense had to fix that there because once they go ahead and play a team that scrambles the ball, trust me, that defense is going to get burnt because the coverage is breaking down. The pass rush of the defense of the Hurricanes is not getting there to contain the quarterback. So, yes, it is what it is. So now when they go ahead and play teams that have a quarterback that is mobile, such as Florida State, because that's our game right there. When we play Florida State, because we got to shut that quarterback down and that running attack awesome. And when that quarterback of Florida State get hot, he could pass the ball downfield, and he got some deep threats too. So this pretty much the defense have to go ahead and start locking down now. We got a good team, that's great, but defense have to go ahead and lock down. Just like I said, the offense is pretty decent. So, the running game had 30 carries of 199 yards, and the passing game had 30 receptions for 344 yards, and about 15 players touched the ball on the receiving core. So, yes, Miami is moving that ball around, but just like I said, it is Bethune-Cookman, so what you expect. It's like watching, if you love Pee Wee football, that's what it is. When the Canes play Bethune-Cookman, you watching Pee Wee football. So, it is what it is. Team stats, just like I said, it was a blowout. With that though, when you average 543 yards on total offense, 31 first downs, and OMG. And then they didn't really have the ball too much because they just kept damn near scoring. But Bethune-Cookman had the ball for 31 minutes and 55 seconds, and they could only muster up 3 points. So that means that Bethune-Cookman needs to work on their offense. They ain't got no offensive players, none whatsoever. And then we all see that Bethune-Cookman is all an academic school because sports is not their thing. And if you show me any Bethune-Cookman player that was drafted in the NFL, y'all let me know with the comments in the section below that any Bethune-Cookman players drafted by the NFL, post it in the comments below. And coming up next for the Hurricanes, as we go ahead on and we get ready for September 13th, as we go ahead and play USF, University of South Florida, baby. They come in our backyard. Game will be showed on the CW at 4:30 p.m. So get your tickets if you're going to tailgate. Y'all boys do it good, do it right, do it strong. But just like I sit down and said, after that, we play at September 20th, we play Florida. And our big game is October 4th, we play Florida State. I know Florida can scramble, and if the defense don't contain these quarterbacks, it's going to be a long, long day for them as our defense is going to get burnt. And they got burnt in playing Notre Dame. So they had the scrambling quarterback of Notre Dame, and they was getting burnt because backfield, the defensive backs was leaving players wide open for touchdowns and easy key first downs. So the defense is going to have to go ahead on and get their shit together. Yeah, I said it, get their shit together and go ahead and play man-on-man, hard-nosed football to stay on top and get ready to take it on down to the national championship title. Can they bring it home this year for 2025 and 2026? And, of course, a raggedy-ass Dolphins. And that really hurted me to the T because I got to talk about these boys. My team, our team. Yes, our team, and I'm a Dolphin fan for 1979. Our team did not come to play yesterday as they made the season opener on the road. Yes, they had to open up the game on the road in Indianapolis as Indianapolis ran all over them 33-8. And the sad thing about it, we was not getting no pass rush on the defense. Well, I was looking for our edges to get off. Chop Robertson, Jalen Phillips, all the boys to get off, Siler, all the boys to get off, and they did not do a damn thing. They could not do diddly squat. And the defense of Indianapolis Colts had Mike McDaniel's number, as well as the offensive coordinators, because Tua and the offense could not get it together. And that's a damn shame. They had Tua so damn confused that it was damn near ridiculous. Tua coughed the ball up in the air, throwing 2 interceptions, and he choked it up, fumbling the football. And when you got a defense that is creating turnovers and turning those turnovers into points, yes, they got control of the game. And our defense has made Daniel Jones look like a superstar. Like he was Joe Montana, Dan Marino, Steve Young, John Elway. I could keep going on. Warren Moon, Rodney Peete. I could keep going on and on. He made them boys look like all-stars. Troy Aikman, Jim Kelly. Our defense made Daniel Jones look like he was one of them all-stars, as he threw for 22 or 29 for 272 yards. He got sacked, losing some of that. He got sacked for a 10-yard loss, which dropped him down to 22 or 29 to 262 yards and 1 touchdown. The rushing game of Indianapolis goes as our defense gave up 40 carries for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the 2 touchdowns came off quarterback scrambles from Daniel Jones, QB keepers for the TDs. Yes. The offense of Indianapolis receiving team got off as our backfield gave up 22 catches for 272 yards and a touchdown. So yes, and the only thing we could come up with was 8 points, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion in the fourth quarter. When you have a team scoreless in the first, second, and third quarter, they own you. So yes, Indianapolis Colts ripped the skin off Tua and Hill and Waddle and the rest of the damn team, including the coaches, as they got the dildos and some Vaseline and just stuck it all up their ass crack. Yes, I said it because it was embarrassing, and I hated to watch it because it was just shame by shame. I mean, everything goes towards the Colts. So Colts had a total of 418 yards on the ground. Our defense gave up 418 yards. We had 3 turnovers. Just like I said, Tua caught the ball up on 2 interceptions and a fumble. Penalties, we had 3 penalties for 15 yards. Colts had 4 penalties for 45 yards. Third down conversions, Colts went 7 of 15, and Dolphins went 5 of 10. Fourth down conversion, there was all 3 for 3 because all 3 for 3 was quarterback keepers. So when you got the big boys up front controlling the defense, they own you. And there's nothing that the Dolphins defense could not answer that. So yes, the time of possession goes to the Colts, 38 minutes and 43 seconds to our 21 minutes and 17 seconds. And just like I said, when y'all boys was lollygagging in preseason, y'all should have been trying to get ready and get prepared for the game. When y'all sitting down here talking, oh, I'm gonna be the man, I'm gonna be the leader. There's no leader in a person. A leader is all men on the field. If you got 54 men on your roster, all 54 men need to show some leadership, including your starters, your second stringers, your third stringers. All men on that team need to show some leadership, not one individual. And that's the problem. They got that individual mentality like they had last year. So we're going to see the same raggedy-ass Dolphins for 2025 and 2026. Our next opponent is the Colts. Not the Colts. Is the Patriots. Yes, we got the Patriots. We played the Jets, a Monday nighter. We played the Buffalo Bills, a Sunday nighter, and then we go to Carolina. So yes, our season opener is with the Patriots. And then they start that same damn foolishness. Even though the Patriots lost against the Las Vegas Raiders 20-13, that was a tight game. If the Dolphins come open up at home this Sunday against the Patriots with that bullshit, I'm done for the season. I am done. And that's all I have to say. I want to thank y'all for just tuning in, listening to me as I say, let's talk sports with Ron here. Yes, yes, yes. And I will see you next week. Peace.